Well, good morning. Trucker Todd here. Happy Friday morning to you. You know what time it is. It's time for another video. All right, folks. Right now, I'm sure you're aware that Congress is kind of fighting over an infrastructure budget deal. Last number I heard was around $3.5 trillion. And a phrase has come up that we hear every election cycle that I can remember. And here lately, it's been coming up more in these budget talks every year, too. Of course, the phrase I'm talking about is tax the rich. The top 1%. Pay their fair share. You've all heard these phrases. But what does that mean, and who is the top 1%? And will that have any effect on the rest of us? We're going to talk about that in today's video. You guys, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Share it on your social media platforms because this message needs to get out. And make sure you're subscribed. Look in the description below for a lot of other great information. Let's not waste any time. Let's cue up the music and get started. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs with home on my mind. These wheels turning round for my family and for my kids. For this life I want to live. And this is why I do this.
All right, we're back. So, first of all, tax the rich, top 1%. Who is that? Well, just looking at it initially, you would think the top 1% would be the guys in this country that are in the top 1% income bracket. And originally, that's what the definition started out to be. And the problem is, if you took every single penny from the top 1%, it would not fund the budget that this country has. It just wouldn't. So you have to look at a few things here. Let's start with this, and let's think about it like this. Say you lived in an apartment complex and your landlord said, we're going to double your rent next month because we've looked at your income and you're in the top 1% of tenants in this apartment complex. And you thought, all right, I'll make it work. I'll work extra hours at work. I really like the apartment complex. Maybe I won't eat out as much or go to the movies as much. I'll make it work. Well, the next month they said, you know, we at the apartment complex spent more money on maintenance and things than what we thought we were going to. Now we're going to have to triple your rent. And you thought, man, I don't know if I can do it or not, but I really like it here. I'm going to stay here. So you stay another month, and they come back again. They say, hey, we've looked at our budget, and we'd like to help some of these other tenants that maybe they're struggling to pay their rent. So we're going to take all your income. All right, let's walk this back a little bit. When they doubled your rent, a lot of you would have said, I'm moving to another complex. This is ridiculous. They're discriminating against me. When they tripled your rent, you'd for sure say, hey, I gotta do something. I'm not gonna pay triple my rent just because I've worked hard to get where I'm at. Well, what do you think these top 1% are gonna do when you start taking more and more of their income? Now, let me say this too. You and me and everybody else, our lives are better off because of the top 1%. Now, you can argue with me if you want to, but think about it. The guy that you work for is probably a millionaire. The guy that you buy your groceries from is probably a millionaire. But even if he's not, the factories and warehouses that produce the foods and goods that you use are owned by millionaires. Those of you that are truckers, the trucking company you work for is probably owned by millionaires. maybe even people in the top 1%. And so we've all benefited from millionaires. We've all benefited from the top 1%. And I'm amazed at how much disdain and hatred there is for successful people in this country. We all want to be successful. No, Todd, I don't. Well, then why do you have a 401k? Why do you play the lottery? Why do you do those things if you don't care about money or being successful? Why do you work overtime at your job when you need extra money? And so we all want to be successful, but discriminating against the top 1% doesn't help any of us. Well, Todd, that's not discrimination. Well, it should be, because you remember the little ads they used to put on TV? We're an equal opportunity employer. We don't discriminate against race, creed, color, sex, any of that. You remember that? Well, it should include income now too, because if you separate 1% of anybody and say, we're going to treat you differently because you're in this 1%, just because you can get the other 99% to go along with it doesn't make it right. And so these millionaires, these 1%ers, guess what they're going to do when you start increasing their taxes like that? They're going to move to countries that don't do that to them. They're going to take their businesses. We saw this when Trump was in office. He lowered the corporate income tax, and guess what? Businesses started moving back to the United States. Jobs started being created. But so when you think, oh, we'll just take it from them, they got plenty, they won't miss it, they're going to reach a point where, what's the point? Why not get on welfare like everybody else? If you're going to take 40% by the time they pay all their other taxes, property taxes, state income or state taxes, things like that, you're effectively taxing them over half their income, 60%. Well, Todd, they've got tax write-offs. Yeah, they do, and that's following the law. That's like saying, I can't believe that football team got a first down. They only went 10 yards and we had to measure it with a chain. They followed the rules. They went 10 yards, they got a first down. And it's the same thing here. They're following the rules. They're not doing anything illegal. If you don't like the rules, change the rules. Elect people that will change the rules. But understand, as we've seen with this president, there's consequences with elections. All right, now let's talk about who the rich is. It wasn't that long ago when Bill Clinton was in office, and he said, him and Al Gore said, that $75,000 a year was rich. A lot of you watching this channel have a household income of $75,000. Do you feel like you're rich? No. You might feel comfortable depending on where you live in the country, or in certain parts of the country that might not even be the median income. But we need to stop dividing, and that's what these politicians on both sides, I'm not beating up on one party or the other, they keep trying to divide us and get us pitted against each other, and we don't need that. We need to find areas that we agree on and move from there. And so that's what I wanted to say about that this morning. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you on Monday with something else. Bye-bye.